Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're taking a look at a 3-pack of Star Wars action figures, and these are from the movie Rogue One. And Rogue One is far and away my favorite of the Disney Star Wars films. I just think it's really well done in terms of the overall execution of the film. And the nice thing about it is that it actually tells a story that connects directly to the original film. Because if you've seen the original Star Wars, you notice in the opening crawl, they talk about this battle, which was won against the Empire, in which the Death Star plans were stolen. And we actually get to see that in this film. And they do it in a very creative way. And we're also introduced to these three characters. They become very integral to the plot. And most of the movie centers around Jyn Erso, but Cassian Andor and K-2SO also play a pretty huge role and get a lot of screen time in the film. And this particular 3-pack represents the way they appeared when they went to the planet called Edu. And I really love the packaging style on this too. They did this sort of illustrative kind of look for the packaging, and I really appreciate that. I have a background as an artist, so I appreciate when a toy line really does something creative with the packaging. And on the back of the package, you can see also the image of the character is also done in a very illustrative way, very kind of painterly look to it. So that's really nice. And then up at the top, you see a write-up on each of the characters here. And then they had some kind of a downloadable app or something going on where you could interact with certain things with the action figures, I guess. I don't really know too much about it, but they were trying to promote that at this point with these figures. So I think they look great in the 3-pack, but I'm going to get them out so we can actually look at some of the details up close. So stay tuned. Okay, so we have these 3 figures out of the package now, and we'll start over here with K-2SO. Really love this character in the movie, and I think they did a decent job with the action figure as well. Quite a bit of detail and stuff on the back here. And these don't have a ton of articulation. There were sort of 2 different kind of waves going on, I think, at the time period when this was going on. So you had the sort of, 5 points of articulation kind of standard. And then I think at that point they had started the vintage collection. So vintage collection figures have a ton more articulation than these do. But overall, pretty happy with this. It does have more than 5, actually, because you have the shoulders, the hips, and then there are 2 points at the neck, actually, because this actually can sort of extend forward because there's a ball joint at the base of the neck and a ball joint at the top of the neck. So yeah, it can extend forward and back and do a little bit of side-to-side movement like that. And then at the head itself, you get quite a bit of articulation on that ball joint. So yeah, he can look from side to side, tilt his head, tilt forward and back. So yeah, and that's really nice to have that much articulation, because one of the things that makes this character quite unique is how expressive he is. So to have that come across in the action figure, I'd say the weakest point of articulation on this is at the hip, because basically it doesn't really allow for standing or anything like that, because it's sort of it's articulated at a weird angle. So yeah, it's I don't know if that really makes a lot of sense in terms of being able to have him take on different poses, but there is articulation there, and also you get 360 at the shoulder. So pretty cool overall, and I definitely like all the detailing stuff that they did on this. So cool looking figure, really digging the look of that. And then next up we have Jyn Erso. And Jyn Erso comes with a couple of accessories. She comes with this little breathing mask. And I had a lot of trouble actually getting that into position on her face. It's just sort of like a little finicky, and then you can pull that down. And I think they did a pretty decent job in terms of capturing the overall look of her character as well. So head sculpt looks real good. And I love those goggles and everything. So the movement on this one arm is a little awkward too. She kind of has it extended forward, and you can't really push it back much more unless you kind of like extend it out a little bit, but it's not really intended to do that. So yeah, that's a little weird. She does get an extra point of articulation in the arms though, because this actually pivots right there. So that's kind of nice. It's actually on both sides, so you get a little bit of more articulation in terms of being able to reposition the hands. She also comes with a blaster, which fits nicely in this holster. And it's a little awkward to get in and out of that holster. So once it's out of the holster, you can actually get it in her hand, and she holds it just fine. So that's really cool. Nice looking figure overall. Pretty happy with all the details and paintwork on that. So again, not really a ton of articulation on these. She does get movement at the hips, nothing at the waist, and this cloak kind of like gets in the way of everything too. So yeah, that's a little tough. But again, where it counts in terms of the detail and everything, I think they did a good job with this. So that's that one. And moving on to Cassian. This is the one with the weakest articulation of the three, because he pretty much just gets a rotation at the head. I don't think that's on a ball joint, because I tried moving it forward and back, side to side. Doesn't really seem to move very much. So, and then he just gets articulation of the shoulders and at the hips. And the hips are pretty restricted because of the coat. So yeah, it's kind of not a lot of articulation on this, but he does come with a blaster, which again fits in the holster just fine, and then you can take it out. The blaster fits in his hand just fine. So that's really cool. And I like all the detailing on this. I think they did a decent job with the head sculpt, the goggles, everything. So kind of reminiscent of the way the rebels were actually dressed in the scenes on Hoth. So that's kind of cool. A little bit of a throwback there in terms of the overall design of this outfit. So cool stuff. And that's pretty much it for this video. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more coverage of Rogue One action figures in the future, stay tuned to the channel, because I do have more in my collection from Rogue One, and I will be covering them in future videos. So stay tuned. Until next time, I hope you're having a great day, and may the Force be with you. Thanks for watching.